Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. A lot of people think that silver is much more common than gold is. The average person would think that. And why? Because gold is so much more expensive. The gold to silver ratio sits still above 88 to 1, meaning it takes 88 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold. So, looking at that ratio, you would think that silver is a lot more common than gold is. What if I told you that silver is actually more rare than gold? This has to do with several different things we're going to be talking about and discussing in this video. So, before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new, because I do post daily videos. So anyways, let's jump into it. The gold to silver ratio is a great indicator on where silver prices are headed. Silver is gold's little brother, right? So if we're looking at silver's ratio compared to gold, silver is extremely undervalued, or gold is extremely overvalued. But gold is a pretty natural price right now where it sits at. So silver is the undervalued metal. And this is all due to FDR when he was in office in the 30s. He changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1 overnight. And this is an important thing to remember, because looking at the rate that silver comes out of the ground compared to gold is roughly 8 to 1. Every 8 ounces of silver, we find 1 ounce of gold, which is actually lower than that. Now, why do you say that? Well, because miners are focusing on gold right now. Gold, lead, and zinc. Miners aren't digging out silver right now. So if it comes out of the ground roughly 8 to 1, and right now, for the last 7 years, they've been focusing on gold, then the ratio is actually less than 8 to 1. And if silver is extremely hard to find, but used for so many things, including electronics, dental alloys, space equipment, solar panels, we're going into the electric vehicle era, where in 30-40 years, every car is going to be electric, and silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. So silver is going to be widely used in the EV era. It's used for the science part. I mean, it's used to purify water. It's used in medical wall paint. There's colloidal silver in the medical side of it. There's silver nanoparticles used for all this stuff. So it's not like the demand is going to run short. The supply is what the key focus on this video is, because the demand is always going to be there, and it's actually growing in demand. But what if I told you the supply will not be able to meet the demand in a very short time? This is something that a lot of people overlook. We can talk about, the geopolitical fear and all that, or silver prices being manipulated, but the supply and demand is the most influential aspect that could drive prices higher or lower. And in this case, it's going to be driving prices higher. So going back to what I was talking about earlier in the video, the gold to silver ratio is 88 to 1, right? But if the ratio was even 16 to 1, or let's say 9 to 1, this puts silver at $90 if gold's at its price right now. So knowing that, the ratio back in the day was actually pretty accurate. But if we're going to go even lower into the teens, or maybe even single digits, silver has to be a couple $100s. And if silver's a couple $100s, then we have the question of, what is gold's price going to be? Is gold at its natural price and silver is just waiting to appreciate? If silver does catch up to gold, what's going to happen then? What if the ratio does go back down to this 16 to 1 average? What would the markets look like? See, silver is interesting because people aren't profiting off of it. Miners aren't profiting off of it. Some of the top silver producers include Mexico, Peru, Chile, Australia, China. But the thing is these people, or these miners, have been abandoning silver mines. Abandoning them because they're not making money. Silver is found from bypassing product, finding it by accident. If they find some while they're digging up gold, lead, or zinc, sure, they'll take it, but they're not going to look for silver. One, it's extremely hard to find, and two, they would rather put all that manpower and time and energy into something that's going to make them money. See, they're chasing the dollar. And this is going to catch up to them. I just made a video earlier today talking about this, if you want to go check it out. This video is talking about the leasing of contracts and what it's doing to the markets and where it's going to be headed. And about 7 to 8 months ago, when I realized that we've been cutting back silver production from the hundreds of millions of ounces, I talked about how this is going to bite us in the butt. I talked about how severe this is, and I talked about it quite a bit because this is something that is extremely overlooked. For the past 7 years, we've been cutting back silver production from the hundreds of millions of ounces. And this means that we're 7 years in the hole, which means we're actually 14 years in the hole, because to catch up, we have to go back 7 years, and then to break even would be another 7 years from now, especially since silver is so hard to dig out of the ground. And not only that, then you add in the growing demand where people need more and more silver. Now you can see how catastrophic this can be. The producers are going to turn into the consumers, and the consumers are going to be turning into the producers. The people like you and I that are buying silver are going to be the ones selling it to the people who need it. Now, who needs it? Well, to name a few, the industry side. If you want the newest iPhone, you better hope that they're still buying silver. For EVs, Tesla, all these other new electric car companies. What about space equipment? What about dentists? Need it for dental alloys? We need it in everything. Everything is used with silver. So it's not like the demand's going to run out. And actually, once silver prices start rising, the demand rises as well. It's kind of like that a snowball effect. As the price gains traction, it inspires more investors to throw their money this way. That's why when silver prices are higher, it picks up so fast, because you have people from stock markets, from all over, real estate, that want a little piece of the pie, and they start investing into precious metals as well. So you can see how this could, I guess, domino effect, either very good or very bad. And for us investors, for people like you and I, it's only going to be good. I mean, for us that actually have the silver, we're going to be selling it to the people that need it. We want it, but they need it. And it always goes into the question of what about $100 silver? Who's going to buy that? Who's going to pay that price? Well, the industrial side will. We already see glimpses of this. We see industries paying premiums for bullion, which has never been before. That doesn't happen. But they're doing it right now because they know that the silver shortage is so drastic and it's so severe. And it's at alarming rates that I don't think we're going to be able to catch up to. I don't think this is a fixable situation. We're just going to have to let it ride out and capitalize off of it or fall victim to it. It's depending upon which side of the fence you're on. Hopefully you're on the side of the fence that has a lot of silver. It's extremely bullish. If you do want more info on the other side of it, I talked more about the supply and demand side of it. If you want to see the other side of it, check out my video I posted earlier today. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button. It definitely helps. It helps a lot support the channel, especially since this is my second channel. The videos don't get as many views, so liking the video goes a very long way. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. I'd love to hear your insight, your knowledge, your experience, and your support as well. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, this was Silver Slayer. Go check out my video I posted earlier today if you want the other side of it, the more analytical side of it in the markets. So anyways, thanks. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.